Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Geelong Region Soccer Show. It's our 18th episode for 2024, and boy, has tonight's episode got a lot crammed into it. My name is Tonchi Prusak, and I will be with you over the next 50 or so minutes, maybe even an hour. But as I said, we've got a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit for everyone tonight. And first of all, let's introduce who our guests are going to be tonight. We will be speaking with the new 300 gamer at Lara United. He's also the vice president of the club, Justin Wilson. We'll be speaking to him a bit later on in the show. We've also got the head coach of the Geelong Galaxy Under-13 girls team, man very well known in football circles in Geelong, STEVEN Nikolovsky. He'll be joining us a little bit later on. His team currently, at the moment, doing very, very well in top position of the JG NPL Under-13s comp. I'll get that right. And we've also got footage of the weekend's thriller at John Cain Reserve in the VPL 1 game between North Geelong and Northcote City, when North Geelong came back from 2-0 down to win a heart-stopping game. Speaking of footage, we've got footage of some of the most talented young female footballers in the region. We've got a young girl from Galaxy Under-13s. Her name's Charlie Wright, and she has been selected in the State Schools Victoria state team that will play in Western Australia, the Under-12s, 12 and under team. And there's also another girl as well who is also in that. I think her name is Zoe Vagias or something like that. Yep. So we'll have some news about that as well. Also, Eleanor Walsh. She's in the Under-15s. She's been selected in the Victorian girls state Under-15s team that will be playing in the National Championships in 2 days' time at the home of the Matildas in Melbourne. So our juniors are doing great guns. Are our seniors doing as well? We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show, but there's, like I said, so much to get through, and we haven't touched the news desk. That's coming up straight after this very, very short break from our major sponsor. Big shout out to the Gordon, who have got some info nights coming up over the next few weeks. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later on in the show. Stay with us for the next hour and enjoy tonight's Geelong Region Soccer Show.
Your future is in your hands. There is a whole world waiting for you, and your choices determine how you will impact it. At the Gordon, we recognise this. That's why we champion hands-on learning. Get your hands dirty. Grab what's in front of you. Learn by doing. Turn your passion, your ideas, and mould them into your creations. You'll be supported the entire way. You'll grow your skills in small classes, guided by teachers who are industry experts. You'll learn in state-of-the-art facilities or out in a real-world workplace setting. Your hands-on experience will increase your understanding and put you ahead of your university peers. You'll graduate work-ready, and you'll graduate sooner, with a huge range of qualifications to choose from and support services to enable your success. Now is the time to continue your learning journey. At the Gordon, your future is in your hands.
That was a bit jumpy there, wasn't it? The news desk theme. Usually it's quite smooth. Today, not so. Okay, on to the news desk. Let's straight away look at what we do each week is have a look at the media watch, and quite a fair bit of football in the Geelong Advertiser over the last few days. And starting with last Thursday, there was a full page spread of football. Some of it was Euro Championships, but then there was also stuff on our local Matilda Kyra Cooney Cross. Matilda's duo Keep It Real for Kyra. In Friday's edition, the Coasters looking to bounce back in Derby after the first loss. A preview of the big State League 4 clash between Bell Park and Surf Coast, which was played under lights last Friday night at the Bell Park Sports Club. On Saturday, moving along to Saturday, there were a couple of articles there as well. Deho returns for the Battling Warriors, a preview of the North Geelong Warriors game against Northcote City, a must-win game. And the Warriors' chances were boosted by the return of their key defender, Raymond Deho, who was appearing for Papua New Guinea in the Oceania Nations Cup in Fiji. Also, in Saturday's edition, Graham Arnold, the Socceroos will embrace a brutal World Cup draw. And that was some international news there. And then in today's paper, coming good in clutch, crucial comeback wins. So the Geelong's two biggest ranked male soccer clubs recorded memorable and heart-stopping come-from-behind wins. We'll talk about that very, very shortly. And there's a photo there of Alex Stojanovski, who scored one of Geelong's two second-half goals to take the winner or score the winner against Sydenham Park in the big Macedonian derby. Alrighty, let's have a look at the VPL results first of all. But before we do that, let's have a look at the highlights of the North Geelong Warriors Northcote City game that was played on the weekend. And the footage is courtesy of Ricky Sports on behalf of Hercules TV, which is Northcote City's media arm. So the Warriors did start in the first half in good fashion. An own goal there by Anthony Barnabas made it 1-0 to the home side. Shortly afterwards, a controversial one where the North players playing the Northcote City player had handled the ball and had deflected the ball into the net. Salud Jalal in the second half, he won back. Before George Ellis, with a looping header, made it 2-2. And then deep into injury time, Sergio Escudero bobbed up to hit him from post range and 3 points for North Geelong Warriors against the second place Northcote City. Remarkable result there. So let's have a look at that, the slide there. So 3-2 win against Northcote City. The second time in 2 weeks that North Geelong had come up against a second-placed side. Last week, drawing 2-2 against Western United. This time, 3-2 against Northcote City. Next Saturday night, massive game for the Warriors as they travel to BT Connor Reserve, a Saturday night blockbuster. No doubt there'll be a crowd of at least 2,000 to 3,000 for this game. Preston Lions are in third spot. They are an equal amount of points as Northcote City. And even though they lost 2-0 on the weekend to Eastern Lions, they will be very, very keen to jump back on the winners list. North Geelong, they've got a bit of a momentum developing. They will definitely try and take some points off the Lions in this game at BT Connor Reserve. If you can't make it up the highway, no doubt this game will be live streamed. I believe all of Preston Lions games are live streamed, so you'll be able to watch this one live. The women, Victorian Premier League women, Geelong Galaxy came up against Keilor Park, a tough Keilor Park, third place Keilor Park, and went down 1-2, the only goal for the Galaxy, Takanaka scoring for the home side. Round 14 fixture, Geelong Galaxy, which are currently in 8th position, travels to Ringwood City, who are in 10th, that game at Jubilee Park. Geelong Galaxy will be looking to break a 7-game losing streak, so hopefully the girls will be able to come back up the highway on a Sunday night with all 3 points in tow. Let's have a look now at Men's State League. Corio took on Clifton Hill at home in a narrowly lost 1-0. Geelong Soccer Club, we mentioned, came back from the dead 1-0 at half time to record an absolutely heart-stopping and a fantastic win over Sydenham Park, 2-1. Stojanowski and new Brazilian signing Bruno Gevasoni scoring the goals for Geelong. Very important because this meant that Geelong overtook Sydenham Park, so they are now in fifth position, and they are only 5 points behind the second place Westgate, but there's a contentious issue there. The Geelong game against Westgate last week, which was abandoned in the 62nd minute, has in fact been registered as a forfeit by Geelong. And whether or not Geelong officials will appeal, we don't know just yet, but stay tuned, no doubt. There will be more information about that in coming days or weeks. In State League 2, Geelong Rangers travelled to Westvale Olympic, and that was a difficult assignment. Westvale Olympic in third position. 2 goals by Jordan Savinsky wasn't enough, but it certainly gave Westvale Olympic a scare. Rangers losing 3-2. Then we had State League 4 action, and it all commenced on Friday night. And we're going to have a look at some. We're going to have a look at some of the footage early on in the game against between Surf Coast and Bell Park, and this is the atmosphere on a Friday night. Yes, the place was buzzing. Lots of people. Great crowd. Friday night football. Nothing beats it, in my opinion. And if you were at the game, tell us, how did you like the game under lights on a Friday night? We had Lara. We've got the Justin Wilson from Lara coming on, and he was talking about how he loves personally playing under lights. Geelong play all their games under lights as well. Do you prefer watching games under lights, or do you prefer watching it in broad daylight? Let us know in the comments section. Let's go back to the results. It was a very one-sided affair at Bell Park Sports Club on Friday night. Surf Coast running out 5-0 winners. It was a top versus bottom clash. Milton Bailey, newly recruited from Barwon, got on the score sheet twice. Luka Jurkovic continued his goal-scoring form in 2024, scoring another 2 goals. And Christian Mann opened the scoring, in fact, for the Coasters, who now have increased their lead, in fact, at the top. I think it's like 7 points. Barwon took on Barnstoneworth United, who have really been spending big in the mid-season. And Jack Banks scored for Barwon, but it wasn't enough to overcome Barnstoneworth United, who ran out 2-1 winners at Grovedale Reserve. In State League 5, Deakin Ducks came away from Ballarat with a 2-0 win thanks to goals from Allen and Wyeth. Ocean Grove hosted Gisborne, and Oliver Hunneford goal wasn't enough to get the local side over the line. Gisborne running out 2-1 winners. And Lara United hosted Bendigo City with Tristan McGrath scoring 2 goals and Nelson scoring 1 to make it 3-1 for Lara, who continue their excellent form at the top of the competition standings in State League 5. They've got a 7-point gap at the moment. Let's look ahead to the fixtures. Hopefully, this week I've got it all right. Let's see if I have. State League 1. Strathmore, bottom side, hosts Geelong, who are in 5th. That game at Strathnava Reserve at 3 p.m. Whittlesea United, who are top of the pops at the moment. They host Corio, who are in 9th position. A tough game that's going to be. And I knew I'd get something wrong. It's not at Hume Reserve. It's at Whittlesea United's ground, but it is at 6 p.m. In State League 2, Geelong Rangers do host their fixture, their round 14 fixture at Myers Reserve, and that's against Albion Rovers, who are in 5th position. The Rangers are in second last position at the moment, and they need some results to escape that dreaded relegation zone. In State League 4, Bell Park hosts Barnstoneworth United. That game this time on Saturday at 3 p.m, 12th versus 10th. Keilor Wolves, who have suffered a mass exodus of players at the halfway mark of the season. They've lost their last 2 games and they host Barwon at Green Gully Reserve at 3 p.m. It's 3rd versus 7th. But if ever Barwon stood a chance against the Wolves, it is this game. Surf Coast at home to 8th placed West Side Strikers. That game on Saturday evening at Banyule Warrior Reserve at 5 p.m. And at the moment, the Coasters are coasting along and they'll be looking to maintain their fantastic unbeaten start to the season. Lara United host Ocean Grove in a big local derby at Lara Recreation Reserve. That's this Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Very good crowd is expected between the team in the city of Greater Geelong's most northern point and the most southern point. So Lara United hosting Ocean Grove. And the Deakin Ducks, they do have a bye. And on to Women's State League. There was only one game played on the weekend after the St Albans Dynamo and Geelong Rangers game was postponed. The Rangers players had illness go through the squad. Supposedly there were about 5 players that had all come down with COVID or various forms of winter flus. So in State League 2, that means Geelong Rangers this weekend, they will host 8th placed Spring Hills at Myers Reserve at 1 p.m. Rangers in 7th position. In State League 1, Kings Domain hosted North Geelong Warriors, and it was an easy day at the office for the Warriors. A 5-1 drubbing of Kings Domain. Louisa Kump scoring 3 goals. Julia Akmacic and Anastasia Simic scoring 1 apiece. This Sunday at Alco Park at 3 p.m, North Geelong hosts 6th placed Faulkner. There's still a very slim chance for the Warriors to get into the top 2 and thus earn promotion to next year's VPLW competition. Alrighty, it's time to now look at the local competitions. We're going to have a very, very quick look at this. The ladder for the men's division. We've got Bell Park still on top, and we'll just go very quickly through the results. Lara United held Bell Park to a 2-2 draw. Armstrong United defeated Geelong Soccer Club 9-2 on Sunday. Surf Coast had a thumping 6-0 win over the Geelong Rangers. And we are not sure of the Barwon Breakwater Eagles game because that has not been updated in the score on the online score sheet. So we don't know what the result there is. But Bell Park on top, narrowly from Armstrong United and Surf Coast. Lara United also making a bid for the top 4, followed by Geelong, Barwon, Geelong Rangers and Breakwater Eagles at the foot of the competition standings. Moving along now to the women's competition, and we have a new leader. Barwon now has assumed top spot after knocking off Bell Park 4-1 at Grovedale Reserve on Saturday. In other games, Ocean Grove defeated Lara United 5-0. Deakin University defeated Corio Bay 7-0. And FC Leopold 1 was defeated by Surf Coast 5 at Estuary Reserve. So we have the ladder there with Barwon on top on goal difference from Bell Park, Deakin University in 3rd spot, and Lara United making up the top 4. Ocean Grove, Surf Coast, FC Leopold and Corio Bay at the foot of the competition standings. We've got the only thing left to say in the news desk is the Foundation of Football course, which has been advertised quite extensively on this program, but I believe there are a few more spots available. That's on Sunday, the 14th of July in Ballarat, and that will be at St George's Reserve, which is the home of the Sebastopol Vikings. It's $100 per coach. And it is aimed at volunteer parents and coaches working with beginner players to competent level players of varying age groups. And this course is a prerequisite for the C diploma should you decide to go and do something like that. For more information, go to www.footballgeelong.com. I'll leave that up there for a little bit longer just so you can see the website, www.footballgeelong.com. Great portal, that the Football Geelong website. It's got lots of information, all the information you need, not just scores and results and fixtures, but also important information. So do visit that on a regular basis. Folks, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we will be speaking to our very, very first guest, Justin Wilson. He is a 300-game veteran. He just played his 300th game last weekend for Lara United. He's also the vice president. I caught up with Justin a little earlier tonight and pre-recorded this interview as they actually have training on tonight. So sit back and enjoy that interview. Goes for about 15 minutes and well worth the watch. And there you have it, Justin Wilson on the weekend playing his 300th game for Lara United. And very rarely do we see one player play that many games for the one club. And he's done it before he's even hit the ripe old age of 30. To tell us all about it is our very special guest on tonight's show, Justin Wilson. Good evening, Justin. How are you going?
Yeah, good yourself, Tonchy. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Right. First of all, congratulations, 300 games. And as we said, for the one club, that's very, very rare these days. First of all, how was the weekend just gone by?
It was actually very, very fun and enjoyable weekend. Getting the win and having everyone there to celebrate and having the family down to watch. So it was a good weekend.
Yeah. Now, in the end, we know the seniors won. The seniors won very well, and they're doing really well. We'll talk about that. But how did the Rezzies go? Did the boys do the job for you?
Yeah, the boys did a job for us on the weekend against Bendigo, who were top. We got away with a 4-2 win, which was not unexpected, but we did really well.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. Well done. Congratulations. Do tell us how did you first start off? And you told me off air, Lara's the only club you've played for. How old were you when you first started playing?
First started in the under nines back in, I thought, 2003. So I
Mm-hmm.
would have been 8, 9 years old. Came down from Werribee,
Mm-hmm.
and my mates just started playing soccer. So I just started playing with them in the under nines and worked the way up from then.
There you go, and you worked your way up to the seniors, and you've seen it all. You've seen the club go from the local comp, the local Geelong region, to state league and state league 5, and you've been there since. You've been in state league 5 ever since. This year could be the year that the club gets out of state league 5.
Yeah, it's going to be very good for us, actually. Yeah, 12 years in state league since we've got into the comp, and I think this is the year. Eric's has got the boys humming, and I think they're going to go to state 4, which would be exciting for us.
Yeah, yeah. Now, before we talk about the club as a whole, but let's talk about yourself. Did you what position did you start playing in your junior days, and what do you play these days?
I'm starting my juniors days as a striker,
Mm-hmm.
back as an under 11s and stuff, and then worked the way through a couple of rep sides, starting now moved back to right back, and then got my senior debut as a man marking centre back.
Okay.
And then from there, just worked my way up. Now the defensive mid is my position now.
Yeah, defensive mid. Yeah, yeah. You still like making those marauding runs up the middle of the park, do you?
Oh, when I get the chance and when the coaches let me, I do.
Yeah, and the coach this year, Brad Owers, is that right? He's come back to the club after
Yeah,
a bit of
Brad.
away.
Yeah, Brad. Yeah.
How's he going? How are you enjoying his coaching?
He's fantastic, to be honest. He's really got us reserves humming and working our way towards seniors. He's really pushing all our reserves to try and play as many minutes as seniors as possible. So it's good.
Now we've had Eric Lawrence on the show before, the senior head coach, and he's told me many a times that in the last few years in particular, there's been a lot of depth at Lara United. Pre-season has seen up to 50 players playing. Plus, you've always got the Sunday League to always rely on. So, what do you think has happened over the last couple of years? Is it just such a good atmosphere off the field? Is it the fantastic facilities for State 5 that you've got at Lara Recreation Reserve? Is there something else that's really helping the club?
I think it's everything you've just said. Having the facilities to allow players to stay after the training sessions and after games and stuff, and create a good culture there. The Grisbecks, Paul and Kylie, fantastic for us as presidents and secretary. They've done an amazing job. I think a lot of credit does have to go to the senior coach, Eric. We were in a bit of a down patch there when he took us on.
Yep.
And then he's just decided, he brought some players in, and just from there, there's more players just keep coming and coming, seeing the culture, seeing us enjoying themselves. And it's just from him, more players will keep wanting to come to the club. And now we've got 20, 25 blokes that possibly play seniors each and every week.
Yeah, there you go. That's fantastic. Now, apart from the fact that you're a one club 300 gamer, and you've played all the way from the under 9s and got all the way up to the seniors, you're also the vice president of the club. So I guess you got to have some nice words for Paul and Kylie, otherwise they'll outnumber you in the committee. But tell us about your role, and how long have you been in that position?
I've been in a position, I think, for 2 to 3 years now. I was on the committee just helping out just prior to COVID, and then Paul just asked me to be vice president. But I just like the club too much, I think. just like the club too much, and I think just helping Paul out to try and make this club as good as it was before we had a little downturn just before COVID. It's been great.
Yeah, yeah, and look, as I said, with the amount of senior men's players there at the moment, things are really going good. Bit of a hiccup with the women's team, unfortunately, having to pull out of the state league competition. But how's that coming along? Just judging by the results and judging by what's happening in the local community, it seems to be solidifying, seems to be kind of reinforcing, and that was the plan all along, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the plan all along, just to get them back and get the players loving the club again and loving playing together. And yeah, got a couple of girls from elsewhere. They've come and strengthened the squad. Getting Izzy Wilkinson back from England has been good as well.
Mm-hmm.
Scoring some goals again. So yeah, that's been good.
Now, at the moment, you're 10 points clear of second place Deakin. There's 10 games to go, so there's still plenty of football left in the season. But let's not get too carried away and let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But if we were to look into the crystal ball and we do get promotion into State 4, it'll be pretty exciting because potentially you've got Surf Coast, Bell Park, and Barwon there, and maybe Deakin as well. Although Surf Coast are looking good and hopefully they'll get promoted. But Bell Park are on the bottom and hopefully they'll stay there. But moving into next year, when does the planning start for next year, especially taking view that you may well get promoted? I mean, your favourites at the moment.
Yeah, don't be too cliche, but Eric is just really focusing on 1 week at a time. We've even just dropped down to training sessions at a time now. We've got, 8 more weeks or 16 more training sessions, but I'm guessing they'll start looking towards, the last couple of games of the year. That's probably when they'll start looking towards next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully the seniors keep on winning. If they keep winning the way they're going, we'll have that, promotion be solidified, as you said, in a couple of weeks before the end of the season. So you can start looking then. And as a club, we go look to improve our squad. Don't think it means much improving because all the players are really, really good there.
Yep.
So I reckon towards the end of the season.
Well, 12 wins, 12 games, 12 wins, 44 and 11 against, and that's just the seniors. And the Resis, I believe, are in fourth spot, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, fourth spot, 7 wins, only 3 losses and 1 draw. So there is a fair amount of depth, without a doubt. There's a lot of potential players waiting in the wings and in the reserve sides as well. Big game this weekend coming up, Friday night blockbuster, the local derby there at Lara Recreation Reserve against Ocean Grove.
Yeah, no, they're good. We love a Friday night game. We like getting all the crowd down there for a Friday night. The cheer squads and the other players love coming to a Friday night. Gives us a whole weekend off, but it's a nice big atmosphere for us.
Yeah. So the reserves kick off at 6:30 p.m. And you'll be in action for your 301st game, will you, Justin?
Yeah, still kicking on. Can't get away from it. It's good.
No.
It's good fun to play down there.
Yeah, and the seniors, they'll be kicking it off at 8:30 p.m. So a big game there for Lara United, aiming to make it 13 wins from 13 starts as well. As for Ocean Grove as well, they are in 6th position at the moment, and they're about 10 points behind Deakin University. So tough ask for them to make a late season surge for a promotion spot. But you'd like to think they seem to have done a lot better than they were last year. They've improved tremendously. So definitely a team you can't take for granted, can you?
No, we can't take it for granted at all. And if you look at their results, I think they scored 17 and only conceded 17 for a mid-table team. It's fantastic that, years gone by, they're conceding 4 or 5 goals a match. Now you look at it, they're conceding 1 or 2 goals a match and making it really hard for even the top sides to get over them. Because I think last game we only won 1-0 over them. So
yeah. It's going to be a tight one, that's for sure. Well, all augurs well, and it should be a fantastic occasion. Hopefully the weather will be nice as well, but nothing better than rugging up and turning out. There's plenty of cover there at Lara Recreation Reserve. And one last question, I guess, Justin. What are maybe some of the highlights that you've witnessed over those 300 games in the past? Anything stand out?
Yeah, there's plenty, maybe early stages when I was 17, 18 and our Div 1 men at the time, our top side, we won back-to-back finals championships, grand finalists and winners.
Yep.
So that was a good time back then. There's more just having the players around. It was really good. At Lara, there never seems to be many egos at the club at all. So everyone gets along with each other, and it's just a fantastic club to be around these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Mate, 300, and you're only 29, so there's still plenty of legs left in you. Have you got any kind of ambitions or anything like that going forward? Would you like to see the club get promoted to State 2 or State 3 or something like that in your time? What are some of the short, medium, and long term, I guess, goals, if you like?
Oh, the first goal, just get out of the cauldron of State 5. Get out of that cauldron, and then just work our way up. Do a bit of a surf coast, get to State 3 hopefully, and a bit further forward. But as long as we just keep together and stick strong and keep the group together and just keep moving forward.
Yeah,
hopefully we get to NPL. One day we can get there. Hopefully.
You never know. You never know. That's exactly right. Yeah, mate. Fantastic. Great to see achievements such as this in local football, and the commitment and the hunger just to keep going is fantastic. But Justin, wishing you all the best. Congratulations once again on 300 games, and wish you and the club all the best. And let's get the senior men's out of State 5 and into State 4 for next year.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Tochis. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Good on you. Appreciate it. Justin Wilson from Lara United. You can really tell he's a very humble bloke there, just a hard-working fella, and he loves the club both on the park and off the park. Great to see once again. Congratulations to Justin, and big shout-out to Kylie Grisbeck, the secretary there, for organising both that and interview and also the footage that we saw earlier today. We're going to take a very, very short break, and when we return, we will continue with tonight's episode.
The world is yours. So work hard, and you can have whatever it is you want.
Welcome back to the Geelong Region Soccer Show. We have got some very, very talented juniors here in Geelong, both male and female. And in 2 days' time, on Wednesday, the National Girls Youth Championships kick off at the home of the Matildas in Melbourne's northern suburbs. And two Geelong girls have been selected for the Victorian State Under-15 squad. One of those, Lucy Shimich, she's in the Under-15s Blues, coming from North Geelong Warriors. And the other one is Geelong Galaxy goalkeeper Eleanor Walsh, who's been selected in the Under-15s White. Let's have a look at some of these incredible goalkeeping saves by young Eleanor Walsh. And a big thank you to Branko Kristevski for supplying this footage from Geelong Galaxy. Enjoy. Only goes for 2 minutes, but it's worth watching some of this footage. That's right. That was some spectacular footage of some amazing saves by talented young goalkeeper Geelong Galaxy's Eleanor Walsh. Now, that's the girls one we speak about. In 2 weeks' time up in Wollongong, the Boys National Youth Championships will kick off, and Geelong is represented by no less than 12 players. You heard that right, 12 players. 7 of them are from North Geelong: Daniel Atanasovsky, Aidan Sharp, Kian Arjamand, Dominic Postorino, Jesse Knezovic, Jaden Trajanovsky, and Marcus Bay. And there's something like 6 or 7 North Geelong boys who are emergencies as well. A further 3 from Geelong Soccer Club have been selected in the under-16s: Charlie Harper, Shining Moon, and Benson Chinko. And another 2 players that play for Western United have also been selected one in the under-15s, Tyson Couchy, and one in the under-16s, Carl Leban. So all in all, 12 boys and 2 girls will be playing in the national championships over the next 2 weeks. Now, speaking of talented young footballers, talented young female footballers, it's my absolute pleasure now to introduce to you our next guest. He is the head coach of the Geelong Galaxy under-13s girls team, STEVEN Nikolovsky. Welcome to the Geelong Region Soccer Show. How are you?
Hey, good, Tonchi. Thanks for having me on here.
Nico, mate, it's a pleasure to have you. You're very well known around Geelong football circles. I believe you still pull on the boots from time to time and have a kick in the local competition.
Yeah, still trying. Still, when I got the time to commit, I'll make the field and make it happen, hopefully.
Yeah, no, excellent, mate. But you've turned your attention now to coaching as well, and you're doing very, very well, it seems, because we'll pop the ladder up there. The Geelong Galaxy under-13s at the moment are currently in top spot in the Junior Girls NPL competition, mate. Tell us about the season so far. We'll just touch on the weekend's result because it was a slight hiccup, but all in all, it's been a fantastic season.
Yeah, all in all, it's been a lot of hard work, obviously. A lot of commitment from the girls and the parents, taking them to training and making sure they attend every session. So obviously with that commitment and 100% effort, the results have been good. Obviously had a bit of a hiccup on the weekend, but looking at it as a sort of a once-off and just hopefully bounce back this week and see where it takes us.
Yeah, that was a 3-0 loss at the hands of Calder, and they were struggling, Calder. But as you said, it's one of those hiccup things. Now, look, speaking of hiccups and things like this, when I often speak to coaches, junior coaches, and one of the things that they always say is very hard is getting consistency from young players. They might have their bad days. They might have, things not going right. And especially under 13 girls, they're just starting to get the hormones starting to creep in and all of that. How do you try and deal with all the I guess the contingencies that could happen as a coach and as a dad, I suppose? How do you try and keep the girls focused on the job at hand?
No, look, we obviously run a rotation style roster. We've got 15 girls in the squad, 14 at a time can play, obviously. So one either get pushed to under 15. So there's sort of a goal there of, girls performing, they can go up and try themselves, because in like 6 months' time, half the team's going to be playing under 15. So there's a bit of a, goal there and something to look forward to for the girls. So,
and how do they find that, generally speaking? How do they find when they step up to the, playing against the bigger girls?
Oh, I think they're a lot of the girls are ready for it. Their height and ability is sort of, a lot of girls now started from when they were young, so they've been playing soccer for 6 or 7 years, especially the girls in the Galaxy team. So, that makes it easier. They're sort of understanding the game a bit more than, females probably 5-6 years ago. So it just makes it a bit easier and better. And, if obviously the commitment, I've known some of these girls in the team for, 5-6 years now. So that makes it easier. And competition for spots, rotation, you get injuries, people go on holidays, but it's been great this year. So from 1 to 15, they're all, as good as each other. They keep pushing each other, and as the season's going, they're getting better and better. So, it's been great.
Yeah, just speaking about the other teams as well, the other teams in the Galaxy teams, under 15s are currently 5th on the competition standings, and the under 17s are 10th at the bottom of the competition standings. But it certainly seems like the club has got a real golden generation of players coming up through the ranks. So hopefully they can step up and take it to another level. Starting this week, big game against Heidelberg.
Yes, Heidelberg. I've played the same sort of coach and team for the last 3 years, multiple times. So, we beat each other and it's a draw here and there. But, yeah, it's obviously a good rivalry. Everyone has a chat. The girls start to know each other as well. So on the field, it's tough and hard. But afterwards, everyone sort of gets together and, gets on with it. So it's been great. But it'll be a tough match again. So I think the next month is got a really strong part to the lead in this for the end of the season. So we'll see how we go the next few weeks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a crucial game for Heidelberg. If they win this game, they could potentially move to top spot, overtaking you guys. But at the same time, if you manage to win, you'll open up a good 6-point gap over Heidelberg and Bulleen Lions, who are breathing down your neck. They're 3 points behind you, but they've got a game in hand and they've got a bit of a better goal difference. So it's becoming very, very. It's a real tight battle there for top spot. And are there finals in the under 13 comp?
There's no this year. The FV have decided not to do finals for the girls competition.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure of the approach and the reasoning, but yeah, we'll see how we go. But obviously, officially, there's no finals.
Right. Okay. Now, two of the girls, and I know coaches don't like to single out any players, but there's a very good reason why we should single out these two players. Two of the girls in the under-13s team have been selected in the state school or school sports Victorian team, so the 12 years and under. Charlie Wright, who is at St. Ignatius College there in Geelong, and Zoe Vagias at Holy Spirit Parish School. So congratulations, first of all, to both those girls. Well done to them. We've got some footage here of Charlie Wright scoring a few goals. So we'll look at that. And this is a bit of a free goal from the corner there. Great goal there. Spectacular finish. It's great, Steve, to see local girls doing so well. No boys this year made it through to the state squad. I think one or two made it through to the final, almost the second final cut. But none of the boys actually made it this year. I know last year there was a young fella, Julian Ryan, made it to the School Sports Victoria team, and his team actually ended up winning the competition. But these two girls, congratulations to them, and they've been outstanding, haven't they?
They've been outstanding. I think this is Zoe's second year. She made it last year as well. So she followed up with another trial process and, yeah, definitely good enough. And Charlie, a newcomer to the Geelong region, she was playing in Altona under 13s last year, was top goal scorer in the league there in the 13s community. So both coming into a strong Galaxy side and both been excellent. Both are different at what they do, but excellent at what they do. So they're definitely deserving of their spots in this team. Yeah, see how they go, I reckon.
Yeah, so I think they've earned themselves a trip to Western Australia, and I think that's going to be in a term 3 school holidays, if I'm not mistaken, start of October or something along those lines. So congratulations.
Right there, yeah.
October, is it? Yep.
Yeah.
Congratulations to those two girls. That well done to them. Mate, some juniors. We've got some fantastic juniors in the region, and we've seen the boys, we've seen the girls, we've seen players that are really doing very, very well and getting noticed. Why is it we just can't emulate that at senior level? We seem to be struggling across the board, both males and females, getting playing at that elite level. What in your opinion is the thing that's holding us back as a region?
I'm not sure if it's the drop of numbers as they get to like that older level, 16, 17. They don't make it in one facet and then decide to quit or it's too hard. Mentality maybe. But I think another thing is the clear pathways. If there's a clear pathway for people, they know what to do and where to do it. Sort of, from my understanding, even with having a daughter in this team, what is the pathway to make it up and which club do you need to be at or what level? So if FV can come out with sort of a clear pathway, maybe there's a better goal there to, if you're playing an NPL, that's the level to go to the next step, whether it be TIDC program or NTC, do they select from NTC? So if you can make the clear pathway, maybe more girls will be like, yeah, I need to make that team. So it's sort of, I think it's just hard to to gauge of where to go and what to do. You're getting a lot of questions from people. How do I, what do I do? Do I do lots of academies out there at the moment. So yeah, everyone's trying to do everything to make it, but it is hard. So I'm not sure the exact reason.
Yeah, I know. I was speaking to Ante Diddlitz, a former Corio coach and a North Geelong and Geelong coach. His son has made it through to the Australian under-17 team, but in order for him to be identified, in order for him to progress, he almost had to basically leave the region and move to Melbourne City and then eventually to Western United. And it's a shame that we don't have even either a men's team or a women's team playing in the highest statewide competition. North Geelong was relegated from the NPL last year, and Galaxy hasn't been in NPLW for a few years. Let's stick to the women's side of things, Stephen. How important is it for Geelong, the Geelong region, to get, and maybe we're speaking about Galaxy, to get a team back in the NPLW competition as soon as possible?
Oh, that's sort of number one priority after we've sort of got the juniors going. I think with the new committee and that and the new push, so hopefully, the results aren't showing at the moment, but I think moving forward, that's the next goal and very important for the region. Also, if the Galaxy can somehow find their own club rooms and grounds, it's sort of a better promotional thing for the girls footballing in Geelong, sort of a elite team as such, the only Geelong, girls club in the whole region. So I think, if they can make it back to the NPL, if we can get up there somehow, well, I think that's the number one goal, and it'll, make it more viable for kids to come across and a sort of a goal for kids in the region. And, start the pathway. If you can make it the Galaxy, that's the first step. If you can go higher than that, even better. So definitely an important part of the club.
And how key of a pathway, for example, in this Western corridor is say the Western United A-League women's team playing in the highest competition, and then having some sort of a step in the NPLW that maybe kind of leads onto that pathway.
Yeah, correct. The only thing with that is none of the A-League teams have any junior setups. They're all just like academies as such. So it's sort of hard. You have to make it when you're a bit older. So it sort of filters out from all their programs. They just select from their programs. So there's no such teams as juniors playing in any competition in Victoria. So it's a hard, I don't know, it's obviously going to evolve and get better, but it's still a growing sport, obviously, in the women's side of it.
Yeah. It's an interesting conversation, and I guess it's something that we definitely need to speak about, because we've got some, as I said, some very, very talented juniors, and we just seem to be losing them for whatever reason. Either losing them to the region or losing it to the game full stop, which is a shame. But mate, we could talk about this, and certainly we hope to get you on the show at the end of the year when the under-13s are crowned champions of the under-13 Junior Girls NPL competition.
Hopefully. You take it week by week, but you never know.
Absolutely. Nico, thanks very much for joining us on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lunchy. Appreciate it, mate.
Good on you. STEVEN NIKOLOVSKI, and if you have, there is certainly an authority figure on the best juniors around town and what we need to do with juniors. It is definitely STEVEN NIKOLOVSKI. He's doing a fantastic job there. We're going to take a very, very short break, and when we return, it will be time to pretty much wrap up tonight's episode. Before we do go, we've got a couple of announcements from our various sponsors and advertisers, and we'd appreciate if you would like to get on board. We'd appreciate you to send us an email, communitysportsmedia@gmail.com, or send us a private message via our Facebook page. But Melbourne City's Carly Roast-Bakken has been announced as the special guest at the Curva Geelong July School Holidays Clinic. Starting tomorrow. It's being held in Torquay, was held today, day one, tomorrow and on Wednesday, and then it will be in Geelong next week from 8th, 9th and the 10th of July. There are still spots available. Contact curva.com.au, or there's the number 0423 975 569. Curva Coaching Geelong is a very big sponsor of ours here. The Gordon is having some information nights. The best way to determine if a course is right for you is to attend one of our upcoming information nights at the City Campus, Tuesday 6th of August, East Campus, Wednesday the 7th of August, and Werribee Campus, Thursday the 8th of August. For more information, do go to www.thegordon.edu.au. And one of our very few club sponsors, club advertisers, along with Geelong Rangers and the Barwon Soccer Club, is the Bell Park Sports Club. They sponsored 2 episodes this year. So if you're looking for your next event space, think the Bell Park Sports Club. Our beautiful hall spaces and facilities are designed to hold a range of functions from birthdays to weddings. And the team there at the Bell Park Sports Club are saying, let us help you host your special event. For more information, on-site tours, packages, and function hire, email Bellpark at functions@bellparksportsclub.com.au. It's a wonderful, wonderful facility indeed that they've got. All right, folks, that brings us to the end of tonight's show. Unfortunately, next week there will be no episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show. We are taking a week break. I will be in transit bound for New South Wales, so I won't be around, unfortunately, next Monday night. But we will catch you in 2 weeks' time. But thank you so much for being a part of tonight's show. And do get out and about on this coming weekend. There's heaps of football around the local region, be it State League, VPL, be it VPLW, be it local community, juniors, seniors, the lot. So make sure to get out there and enjoy, because we are slowly now heading towards the end of the season. Before you know it, there'll be no more football in 2024. So enjoy it while you can. Thank you for being a part of tonight's show. My name is Tonchi Prusak, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Good night.